To be fair. Good evening, everyone. I am Sans Mr. Brian because he is suffering from Nurgle rot. I felt sorry. He called me up and he sounded terrible. I do have I have the Kyle with me, part of the Kalile.
The first
and
half.
and he said I for sure have my camera in my new place because I'm so proud of him because he just moved to a new place. Happy Monday to you too, Eric. But he didn't have a camera, he just didn't. So I found the best picture I could of Kyle, and that would be Lyle and Kyle at Lyle's wedding. And they are two gorgeous looking boys, and we're gonna hang with them tonight with that picture. I think
I
that
love
is
that picture. Lyle loves that picture way more than I do.
and as
All
well
right.
you should. So we're gonna talk about stuff and things tonight. I've even got news today because
Oh, yeah.
I have had some beneficial things go down this morning, specifically so I could go down to the WCW Finals for GW. I'm going to Atlanta. And I'm going to play Orcs.
I was gonna do that at one point in time, but then I got a job.
Yes, you did. And then you've got a big boy apartment. I mean, things are working out.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean,
So
yeah,
why orcs?
I think they're fun. And I think they'll give me the best chance to get out of my bracket into the finals bracket.
Was this weekend at all an indicator that you should have been on orcs?
No, this weekend was
No.
this weekend was an indicator that I like Eldar, but I think if somebody just pushed on me, I wouldn't have had as easy of a chance. It was also a chance to find out that certain medical prescriptions don't work as well with each other. That was I found that out. That was my testing for the weekend. You know, like you play test sometimes different armies in different scenarios. I'm going to test different prescription drugs in different scenarios. And it worked out perfectly. So, no, but I think the orcs are something that no matter how I do, I mean, hopefully I do really well. But I think that the orcs, also I can't see apparently. I think that the orcs are something that I really, really enjoy. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I enjoy both, but like sometimes with the orcs, I can just make the answer. I jammed a whole bunch of OC onto an objective. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
stood in front of you. That really isn't an answer for the Eldar. And to be honest, between the two factions, there's nothing else I'm feeling right now as far as excitement. So I haven't got a bunch of joy playing anything else right now. We don't have anything else new coming out. Exactly. You want to come near the fire. Old man Brad wants to tell you some stories about the good times, the bad times, and all of the times. That's what I'm saying, Carol. There's a bunch of armies that I felt that way. When I was looking, I was ranking the armies of what I would like to take down to WCW. The answer was, I don't know if these are the best options for me, but there's a lot of things that are doing well that I just think are really boring to play. And I don't want to spend 4 days because we're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I just don't want to play 4 days of something that I don't love to play. I'd rather just play something that I love to play that gives me a chance as opposed to whatever's the best thing right now. And there's,
What?
can you tell me if you know a major? It is about standing there, to be honest with you. And I think orcs are the most exciting to stand there. To be honest with you.
So we talked a little bit this weekend on the car ride down about just if you had like peak skill or equivalent skill, whatever the term was, you were just good at everything and you had perfect information. What would be the army that you would pick to go win a GT, right?
You know what? We're throwing Lyle under the bus for this one. Because you remember what his actual response was?
No, not verbatim.
Okay. And coming in with the final super chat. Thank you so much. Pass on Orcs, Triple Grimnar Votan. As soon as they start calling him space dwarves, I will play Votan. Not until I take a stance on this. They need a new book. They don't have enough units for me. Oh, God. You know how much I hate dwarven wizards. There should not be wizards in the dwarves. Makes me so angry. No, I asked the question, and Kyle asked me a couple things and was like, we were talking about it, and then I asked the same question to Lyle, and he grilled me like he was trying to make a wish from a genie. Well, what about this and this? I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the stipulations of the rule.
Yeah, there's so many. Probably coming to $2 super chat. $2 for the Brad Sandwich Fund. Go blue. You know what? This is ruining it though, because still, I have to tell people, when we went to that Holt tournament, somebody did ask me why I was wearing an Ohio State hat when I was clearly a Michigan fan with all the go blue. It's all of a They're going bad in the house, hanging out. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I might make a poll on that. Like, be fun aside. Here was the question I actually asked. And I said, all right, both of you have to win this tournament. You're equally good with every faction. You basically downloaded it Matrix style into your dome. You're exactly the same level of skill at every single army. You want the best chance to win a tournament, not even just the most fun. You just have to win the tournament. What do you take?
I said guard.
And I think that might be the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a list I would normally pick, but if like with those parameters set, I would pick guard.
I think you're probably right on that. The points and the Aquilins made a big deal. Exactly. Guard Science Man Zoobs is boss mode. Matt coming with the final super chat. What the hell is a Buckeye anyways? Also, just play Space Elves or Space Wolves. You know you want to. Space Wolves, I don't want to play them until they're not just Thunder Wolf kind of spam. I want to bring like a bunch of dudes that punch people in the head. Not like Wolf Riders as much, but I want to bring like Ragnar and a motley crew of wild men.
With jump packs?
With definitely jump packs. Jump packs and some drop pods if I could. So, I mean, chocolate peanut butter Buckeyes are what you should be voting for tomorrow. That is the card that I want. Chocolate peanut butter Buckeyes. That's what the nation needs to heal.
So, what's your pick with the parameters in place? You say guard too?
I'm still debating on it. I don't know why people don't have Jazzy. I don't know why people aren't able to end games out. I think that you have to. A lot of times in games, the game's determined fairly early because you have set yourself up for that game to be done. You know what I mean? So like a lot of time, you don't have to play the late game as well because you set up the beginning of the game. That's my thoughts on that. And that is not true all the time, but I just find it to be true most of the time. If you set your board up, usually you're just in such a good position that by turn 3 the game is decided. That is not the case all the time. I just think it's the case most of the time. Exactly. That is true. I should be living in Michigan right now, but that did not exactly go as planned for one side. Tacoma and Custodes. Yeah, that is true. They did hit the shit out of them after they won there. I don't know. I just it's what do you guys think is the best? What do you guys what is the answer to that? I agree with Kyle that that might be the best. I don't know if it'd be the best for me. If I don't like an army, I just lose focus so much. You know what I mean? While playing it. So like I don't know if I'd ever get the most mojo out of that.
Right, but in this scenario, you had equivalent love for every army too.
That's not possible. Now you're just getting ludicrous. I can believe in immortal space elves and demons from the warp. You can't tell me that I equally love every faction, Kyle. Now that's just fantasy. That is crazy talk.
I think
No, just best to win. It was the best to win. That was the thing. Because there's certain things. I mean, that's the same reason we're talking about elves and orcs right now. I don't think that either one of those armies are even probably A tier right now. But I want to take them because I want to enjoy myself all weekend. So, Space Marines, the Space Marines took a huge hit with the armies that were doing really well. Obviously, Blood Angels got a completely new codex, and Dark Angels got hit a little unfairly, is what I thought.
I mean, Anna again with the best to win, totally unfun million OC body guard with the triple Akalon.
I do think it's probably is, and you're correct on that. I played Vanguard at the beginning of the year / end of the year, and I had a good time playing it, but it is like a really precise army. It does really, really well until you make any particular mistake. So, but the Ultramarines Vanguard is disgusting with Uriel. Uriel and the 6-man drop dev unit. Whoo! That strat for +1 to hit, +1 to put your AP with guys that are, you know, hitting on 2s that innately reroll 1s. Gross.
Yeah, the Vanguard Space Marine is like a list that I feel when I see it early in a tournament, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably okay with this. If I see it late in the tournament, you're like, oh man, I hope this guy isn't great.
Yeah, exactly, because you know this dude's probably really good with the list because it's a very precise list. So I agree on it. It's just I played that before. I think I'm gonna play Orcs. I do think I'm just gonna play Orcs. That I'm
I
not
think
100%.
Orcs is the best pick. Yeah, I think it's just more you than your other options right now.
Yeah, I do just like putting Orcs on the board. Plus, it gives me 2 weeks to paint some more shit. So I'm excited about that. To be honest, too. I've been slacking on my painting, so I want to get back on. I was just over stinks about that.
I definitely want to touch on the Orc matchup into what I played this weekend later because I thought it was hilarious, but we'll get to that later.
Well, I have to address this. Mike, the playmaker, I will never, ever, ever, ever hold for it, ever play a list that you make for me because it would be unbelievably not a Brad list. Somehow I would have 14 kill rigs or something and no guys. Snakes is a great guy in that. Be a stress. Soon, hopefully. No one wants to chat with Brad live right now. I mean, Kyle's with me. I mean, and I think Brian's with me in spirit.
Lyle's here in spirit. What are you talking about?
Brian sounded so sick when he called me on the phone today. I feel like I was going to get sick from just talking to him. That might be because my entire immune system is one white blood cell running around like Sly Marbo trying to sneak attack anything. So
I'm here and me caressing Lyle is here. That's enough.
I'm debating on taking some battle wagons. Forsman was trying to talk me into some battle wagons instead of just straight up 4. I was going to play 4 trucks. I can barely speak English. I mean, I used to be able to speak some other languages, and I let that go because, well, I'm an idiot. So, it is what it is. Nurgle bless our constitution. Exactly. Father Nurgle occasionally takes out his wrath on me. He holds me a little too tight.
All right, let's. You want to get to the meta and pull up some data?
I'm going to keep talking about orcs for just a minute. Look, man, if you're not going to show up holy, you're just going to show up with this little love affair with you and Lyle. I'm going to talk more orcs. What I'm thinking right now is check this out. I said to you this, did I not?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
4 Beast Snagger Boys, 3 units of Knobs, 3 units of Flash Kits, 10-5-5, 2 units of Storm Boys, and 3 units of Gretchen 20-10-10, so I can have Zod, Ninja Warrior, Kung Fu Master in one of the 20s, and then 4 trucks, 2 war bosses, and 3 beast bosses.
No,
So like,
not a kill rig. Did you say kill rig?
I didn't say any of the big ones. That's what I said. Forsman's trying to convince me to take one of the big guys. Basically, he has good. I'm actually talking to him later about this. He was mid game when I talked to him. We had a good talk about it. He made a good logical piece for it, which is almost all the stuff that can 3-inch deep strike next to you can't beat up a battle wagon, but it can beat up a truck. So
That makes sense, actually.
fucking fuck you, Corey. Look. Look, sometimes you gotta let the hospital tell you that you're not supposed to take certain things together. Jesus. But I'm gonna play Warhorde, and I'm gonna play something of that nature. The 2 questions are: do I take hunter rigs, kill rigs, battle wagons, and do I make room for Gaz just so I can have? But half the reason I take Gaz is so I can have lethal hits on the wall. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, what's the value of the kill rig right now? It went down.
It's a $155. It's actually pretty decent. The battle wagon still has the higher toughness, which does make it super annoying sometimes for people to fuck with it. I mean, that's true, Matt. I probably won't take Gaz. You know what I mean? I am going to go back into Orcs, Eloise. I was really debating on it, but I think as I'm talking about it, I don't know. I just get excited about Orcs and I want them to be better. It bugs me when they don't do well in the meta. And I think that they have a lot of play. So I'm not sure, but like, I might take a bigger thing, like a skill rig, like a battle wagon. You know what I mean? I think that the magic number, if I'm going to take any of them, I'm going to take 2. So if I'm going to take battle wagons, I'm going to take 2. If I take kill rigs, I'll take 2. If I take counter rigs, I'll take 2. You know what I mean? And then I'll take 2 trucks to basically play the shell game with my flash kits and my other beast snagger boys. So that's kind of what I'll do. Dicks. The hunter rigs don't have the auto turret hit, so both of them are like really cheap for it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at their points because I remember them being like
they went down
200.
quite a bit. I mean, a skill rig for $155 is nice. The only problem is they're T10. That kind of bugs me. So they got a piss ton of attacks though. The only problem also is with their attack is you have to roll 3 different profiles for their attacks, and that's not even counting their shooting attacks, which is also 3 different profiles. So it does eat up a decent amount of time for you to usually just go, I really did nothing. You know what I mean? Half the time. So
the war tower seems like a really efficient attack.
War tower is pretty badass. I have to admit that. The other thing is like if you bring a wagon though, T12 fucking off with an AP is legit. You know what I mean? It also has capacity of 22 or just a lot. I mean, you'd put the R top, on it. And then you'd have to take one of the lesser guns, because if you take the big gun, it fucks up how many people you can get inside. You got to play to Randy's Orcs, and he's great with his Orcs. Good player. And he's especially great with Orcs.
Yeah, it sucks having both you and Randy up here all the time with Orcs. I find them difficult to play against.
So I don't know. So it really, I think that style of list is what I'm going to do. There's no chance I'm going to take a Stompa.
What does a Stompa cost? It's probably good for its points.
Isn't. You know, I would take the Stompa if it had its old school rules. You used to be able to shoot it until you rolled, I can't remember if it was doubles or triples on its guns. So you could just keep shooting stuff. I watched an entire game basically be played in one turn because the Orc player never rolled doubles and just kept shooting like the entire army. It was fantastic. Bring back flying Hatbook.
I think we could make the Stompa work.
I'm not making the Stompa work.
What if we could get a $200 over one stream? You have to play a Stompa.
I won't pay a Stompa at WCW. I could play it at another tournament. Yeah, I would have to get some sort of compensation for it. I'm already having people hand me money just to get down here because I didn't have any. So I don't want to show up with a Stompa and get crushed immediately. So I have run a Snagga before. I can say handy in the bathroom. It more like gives because I need a couple bucks to eat.
Sandwich.
You know what I really want to be good, and it wasn't, and it's still pissing me off? The detachment for my snake bites. God damn, I can't even think of the name of it. Somebody tell me what this is. The Hunt. There we go. Exactly, Anna. Thank you. It was just, yeah, exactly. Oath, but bad. It's just fucking. It's bad. Oof. I want it to be great. I miss my Squig Riders a lot, actually. It's one of my favorite things. Plus, I also don't have a shit ton of Squig Bombs. Squig Bombs are one of my favorite things. So Battle Wagon or no Battle Wagon? You know what? I'm going to make a poll for this. Start a poll. Ask a question. What transports? It's going to be 2 Battle Wagon, 2 Skill Rig, just no big shit, all trucks.
Battle Wagon has the Wrecking Ball, right?
They are going to have the Wrecking Ball. The Battle Wagon has the upgraded the Wrecking Ball thing. It's got the Death Roller on the front.
What's that profile?
They don't fuck around. Like a Battle Wagon. Hold on, I'll tell you the exact stats on it. Because the Battle Wagon will punch you in the face. You're weirdly like what the shit just happened when you're fighting that dude. The Death Roller has 6 strength, 9 AP 1, 2 damage attacks. The Claw has 2 strength, 8 AP 2, 2 damage attacks, and then you get the 6 wheel attacks that are strength 8, 0, and then the Wrecking Ball is just the 1 attack at strength 10, the D6. I vote for a Tiger Shark. It's gonna be tough to take in Orcs.
No, you loot it and then you can take it.
You loot a Tiger Shark? Rick's wagon over rig. Looted an Ares. God damn. So between KR and Eloise, I'm taking an Ares and a Tiger Shark in my orc list. I'm a little back and forth on those two. I'm leaning towards taking them because they do give me the ability to push up in some of the matches and just not get obliterated by small arm fire, which is the one of the banes of the orcs. Is on a non-wog turn, people can just go take a shit ton of your crappy save. You know what I mean?
You lose a quarter of your army to pistols.
Or the orcs' natural enemy, flamers, our nemesis. Ah!
They are made of fungus, so makes sense.
They do burn them. It makes me terribly sad. All right, we're going to talk about the meta just a little bit, but I'm coming back to my orcs, to be honest with you. I'm coming back. You can't make me not. Where is it? There's the data. Data for the weekend. Black Templars. Just going from 0 to hero, apparently, because they did really bad like 2 weeks ago, and now they're kicking it out again.
Just having a million unkillable dudes.
I mean, advance and charge. I mean, both of them have the option for that. Obviously, only one of the units has it with Righteous Crusaders, but like, just taking a shit ton of dudes and just getting places. Devout Push still rocks, even though you can't get an engagement range. You know what I mean? Because you can do shenanigans with it. So, Brandon's gonna bring bags of crew, Alan style, when he brought his orcs. I thought I mishandled models, and then I watched Alan literally take all individual units and just put them in different Tupperware bags back when you could take 30-man mobs of orcs.
Just spill them out on the table.
Yep. And then he would just basically drag them in, or he would just like Kobe them across the way to get them back in the box. So it's a thing on that. But I think the Templars are legit. That list especially it can be played all the time to a really good, but like you get certain matchups and missions, you know what I mean? You get a heavy board on, a tipping point or something where you can really jam in. Woo.
I mean, I think the Righteous Crusaders is doing what a lot of armies are currently doing, and it's doing it in a scary way, where it just puts so much OC somewhere and is like, yeah, go ahead, try to remove it.
You also have, anytime you have just rerolls with lethal hits, you can take out shit that normally you couldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you did that with multiple armies on that. You know the army that like came out of nowhere? GSC, multiple weekends in a row now, and you're looking at, 3 detachments all being played that all did pretty well. That is indeed a real pick, by the way.
So the question for Gene Stealer Cult is why? Like, why now? They weren't secretly good the whole time. They were total ass, and then why now? What changed?
They got a lot more stuff, and I think that they just weren't being played. I think they got a little bit of a bad rep, from me including, you know what I mean? But I think that they just needed a little bit more shit to make them work, to be honest with you. There's a lot of armies like that just need a certain critical mass to be able to be played. I still like the Claw a lot. I think that the Speed Freaks version of GSC is, for me, I still think it's the best version. It just really takes the board really, really well.
And Louis says because people are not taking anti-horde weapons yet. Some people.
The big spoon is the one talking right now.
Yeah, Lyle and Little is not a thing. Not really.
He's a wee lad.
He's a stout boy.
I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about these things, we have to talk about the fact that AdMac won at like a 2% win rate like a week or two ago, and randomly is winning at 56. I'm going to have to say that apparently the 3-0 with cohort Cybernetica was legit. Will they have another weekend like this? I don't know. I still think that AdMac should have gotten all of their point nerfs back. They should have repealed them because I think that they didn't get enough from their buffs. You know what I mean? So
I'm just fairly confident this army's not real. I've maybe never seen it ever at a tournament.
It's never been real.
This is online stats. It's got to be because no one owns this army.
It is expensive as shit. I'm pretty sure the rental company had to burn those tuxedos. I gotta bet. But
We burnt them before we brought them back. Bad things happened.
were you inside them when they were on fire?
No.
Plus spam plus chickens plus bats. I mean, full rerolls is for everything is pretty legit. I mean, you can just pop out of a boat if the boat shoots a target, just like a falcon, and you have a Martia with them. You get a unit that has legit full rerolls of everything, so they can play. They have play. Nergal Matt. I built and painted GOC. They exist. Ad Maker's so beautiful. Oof. Those goofy stilts.
It's like the least 40k army ever. It just doesn't look like an army.
True. Yeah, the out of the boat, the guy that can backflip back into the boat's legit also. Oh, yeah, I do want to bring something up. I've noticed that as soon as you stop playing Chaos Demons, the win rate skyrocketed. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I was carrying the faction.
I'm just saying, I feel there might be a direct correlation between the uptick in the win rate and you not playing him anymore.
I think demons
that is true. KR comes in 30 minutes in. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. It really helps us be up there on the metrics.
You cut me off on my demons rant.
Go ahead.
No, I just think that the army is like, while everything else kind of falls in power, demons are still just like hard to remove from the table at an efficient points cost. So it makes sense why you see them out there with like big chunky things just holding objectives all day. I don't think it's like a mystery as to why they're getting played more.
Do you think that less people just have the answer to taking out big stuff?
But because like the big stuff can just be on you so quickly sometimes that it just ruins your entire game plan. It's definitely there's tons of stat checks right now, but it is a stat check only. It has not a lot of finesse. You just kind of put big things, in places your opponent doesn't want you, and then they have to either come back on the board or fight you in a really bad spot.
I do like that statement. Sometimes 4 up be 4 up. Yeah, yep.
Sure.
Sometimes you make them all. Sometimes you want it all, and you want it now. Votan, 54% it. I think that Votan's still just going to hover around 50% on most weekends, just because it's got enough guns.
I'm actually surprised it's not higher. I always feel like it should be higher.
The only thing is that they don't have enough stuff. I do think that might be the issue. You know what I mean? I think people are getting used to playing them also. They just have so few data sheets.
They're just so efficient. Like, with the changes to the Grudgeons, they're just efficient at killing what they need to quickly. It feels like it should be a better army. Maybe their small unit size holds them back.
Maybe not enough people. I don't know. I think they're good. They're a good army. I don't think they're an OPR, but I think they're good. I mean, man, like if you don't have the ability to stop like the entire army basically from scouting on you, like shit can go down. That's just a lot of stuff that can be shake and baked wherever the hell they want it. That's a real thing. Put big things where people don't want them. Exactly. Sisters almost went down in the rankings, and then they were like, oh yeah, we're super good still. Like nothing changed. Their points got worse until they do something with their miracle dice in December. This army is just legit. It's going nowhere.
I mean, it does the same thing. It might not put like all of the OC, but it's just like it's efficient. It gets to where it needs to go. It shoots and kills what it needs to kill, and then it scores a shitload of points.
Yeah, I mean, it's just got really good units. I mean, Bringers of Flame want to go fast. Hallowed Martyrs has all of the banana tricks. So I don't think Sisters are going anywhere anytime soon. You also have like a really, really, really good top group of players that play Sisters, and that you just have some phenomenal players that are going to keep this bad boy in that win rate for a while. Probably, Matt. I think they're just going to fuck with the Miracle Dice and probably move on. I would hope they don't do too much, to be perfectly honest with you, because, again, they've done a decent job in recently, but the GW has just been so heavy-handed sometimes. What they do.
What would you think would be like a fair fix to keep them in line, but not kick the stands up from under them?
It's really tough, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that you have to look at any time you do rules and or points, you have to really take a good look at it, because anytime you're looking at an army like Sisters, if you take a little bit away from Miracle Dice and you make things a little more expensive, or you give them a little less stuff or a little less movement, it's still an army that the majority of the shit's just T3. You know what I mean? They've got a bunch of Rhino chassis tanks and stuff like that. So like, it does sit on the precipice of just being bad. You know what I mean? If you do too much shit to it. So I'm not even 100% sure on that. I tend to like to just leave shit alone as long as it's not a wild problem. It's my opinion on that's fairly unpopular a lot of times. If your army's a little OP, but it's not like just super broken, I kind of don't care. You know what I mean? So, man. I expect Sisters to get Eldar. The change the stats in the indirect, possibly. I don't know on that. What's up with CSM just having a really good weekend? They were just doing terrible for a while, then they were doing good. The CSM just don't know where they are. What's going on with that?
I mean, they have a deep codex. There's a lot of things to do. It doesn't
There's
have
a lot
to be
of things to
inherently
do.
powerful.
A lot of side quests.
There's so much to do with Chaos Space Marines. Why are Deceptors at 60%?
I don't know. You're just like, hey man, I don't really.
One guy. It's one guy. One guy played. He won 3 of his 5.
He's owning shit, dude. He's like, I will show everybody the Deceptors are the faction or the detachment for fucking Chaos. We're going to keep indirect out of your mouths. Possibly on that.
We don't want indirect coming back involved. That sucks.
I do hate indirect so much. I got the passion. I don't hate them like flyers. Whoa. I don't hate them like flyers or anything. Let's see. Lyle showed up to look at the pick. It called him. It was a siren call. IG, again, winning at around 50. I think that list is gross. Just the science spam list. You don't see it taking that off, but that thing's doing super freaking well.
I want to talk about the guy we met this weekend, Nemo the Fish. Can we pull his list up?
No, because I'm not completely unready for it. I can tell you what it was, though. What?
All right, I'll look it up.
I'm going to tell you what it is right now. He's got 3 units of 15 command squad plus the Scion defensory squads. So he's got 3 big units of Scions as you attach the command squads to him. Then he has 3 units of Aquilans. He's got 3 units of Castricans. And then he's got a shit ton of like 2 or 3 units of Cadians. And then he's got 2 units of Deathcore or Krieg, 20-man units. Then he puts an HQ in with that. He's just got a billion models. And he was just
like actually 200.
Yeah, I mean, Wesley was putting a beating on people, just putting the Thunderdome down. Woo!
Yeah, it seems impossible to play against. Like, for the most part, if you're not just down their throat instantly and trying to screen the entire board at the same time, you're just losing this.
Exactly. Send in the next wave is also no bueno. So like, yeah, he's just got a ton of, and it's just got a volume. Those 50-man units have just 100 special weapons. I mean, I don't even know if it does, Hunter, because the amount of OC and the fact that he can 3 inch, you know what I mean, right up on top of you is just crazy. So that this is very powerful. Your boys in the Death Guard. Turns out, 18 Death Shroud Terminators is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Also, having a shit ton of flamers is really annoying. I don't know for everybody, for me especially, for everything I play, because I'm just like, oh no, flamers.
I mean, I think the list that I brought had almost 30, almost 30 flamers.
What? Apparently, I have to look at. What the fuck are you sending me through? Brandon sent me a thing that said you've been known.
What?
I'll send it to you.
Please don't.
Oh fuck. No, they're not going to do anything for a little while, Corey. I don't think they're going to touch anything until December. They've already said they're doing a data slate in December, so I don't think anything's getting touched. So I think that like a whole lot of nothing's going on with that. I mean, it's just got so many idiots on it. I don't. The guard's coming up right away anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, Dari boys winning at exactly 50%, which is where I think they're going to be forever until they do anything with them.
Paying for their sins, fairly paying for their sins. They have to.
I mean, they had to. World Eaters and Blood Angels. I think that I like where this clumping is right now, because I think that World Eaters, Blood Angels, and Custodes all stand somewhat together on what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Being very aggressive armies right now. The Custodes list that I've been seeing, doing work are just, triple wardens. I don't know what Blood Angels are right now, because I feel that people are just trying to make a lot of different versions of Blood Angels work. And I haven't seen a very cohesive army of Blood Angels yet that I was really impressed by. 10-hour gnome noise. Oh my god, I would get murdered. Yeah, Guard and Eldar are the next two codexes. I think they're going to come out back to back. They might even come out at the same time.
Matt Worth said, "How do you think DG does into guard?"
They don't have enough OC. Is what I would think. The problem is they have so many models and they can come back. And while Death Guard would just put them in a wood chipper, you eventually just start failing saves. They just have a lot of plasma and melta. You'd be making just a bananas amount of 4-ups, you know what I mean? And as soon as you start losing Death Shroud Terminator, you start losing critical mass and you're not able to deal with those big ass units. So, but I still think that they're good. I think the Death Guard are really good. That list was gross.
I really liked the list I played this weekend. I thought it was great.
Let's talk about it.
Alrighty. I
immediately
wanted to play. What?
I said immediately, do it.
I wanted to play a variation of the 18 Death Shroud, and we talked about it a lot. So I just cut Morty and just started jamming Plague Marines, and it ended up being 2 Sorcerers and Terminator armor, 2 Foul Blight Spawns and Typhus, 2 10-man Plague Marines with like the usual loadout, 2 Death Guard Rhinos, 2 Cultist Squads, the 18 Terminators, 2 Bloat Drones, 2 Beasts of Nurgles, and 2 Nurglings. Basically, I just wanted to flood the board with shit.
That list makes me so happy. I'm so happy that you listened to me on that, because your initial list had so much non-Brad stuff and made me sad. And your new list makes me so happy.
I'm concerned about the new list, only in the mirror for whoever plays that list, and they have Morty, they have their army rules, and you don't. At least on one side of the board.
Yeah.
That could go poorly.
I wonder if I have enough guys to just punch Scions to death with Orcs. You know what I am going to do? Use my multiple units of flash kits to make sure I'm always overwatching a unit of stupid equivalents. Pew pew! Man, if I only had Dirty Badrock to join the boys, I would be unstoppable.
But he's saving the galaxy.
It's upset.
Taking a break.
He's taking a break. He's doing pirate shit is what he's doing.
He'll try again next millennia.
That hurts. That's hurtful. That's hurtful talk. I still use him as a war boss, by the way. I refuse to play any games of Orcs without having Badrock on the board. I killed 6 Thunderwolf Cav in Overwatch this weekend. Dude, that fucking guard army is bananas. I'm sorry, it just is.
Neuromad's calling you out.
It didn't stay on the DG. I mean, I don't stay on anything that long, let's be honest. I have the attention span of a gnat. So.
Neuromat, type questions. Type some questions in the chat and I'll answer them.
60 cultists and deceptors of 27 Nurglings hanging out. 27 Nurglings is so many.
I would play that army. That sounds awesome.
Oh man, I can't even say that one, Corey.
He's got some spice today.
He does have some spice. Oh man, the guard army. I feel like I would die, especially after this weekend. There's nothing quite like being found face down on your living room floor to make you go, maybe I shouldn't play a giant horde army. I don't have a lot of fucking models though. Jesus, I was just thinking about that orc army. It's got 40, 80, 100, 110, 120. It'll have like 140 models. That's legit.
Can you dictate the engagements enough where you can attack and then get somewhere safe?
That's what I'm debating on. I mean, to be honest with you, to be fair, one of the things that's actually a big deal, depending on what the deployment is Zod, because of the scout. Him just being able to jam up. If I could take some goddamn 5-man units or commandos instead of that stupid 10-man, I could do a lot more with it. You won't survive 4 days, bro. That's hurtful. But I mean, it's probably very truthful also. He's the Magnus of fucking real life. Oh, Jesus. Carmona, you and Corey shouldn't be able to talk together ever. So, let's talk about Tyranids and Necrons. Uppy downy armies are always going to be good. Tyranids, I think, are in a good place right now. I saw Crusher Stampede keeps getting like some pop, but it doesn't get played by that many people. I think Invasion Fleet's still just legit.
A Tyranids, again, is like one of those armies that when you see it early, you're not really that afraid of it, but if you start seeing it late, you know someone knows their shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's got answers, dude. You know what I mean? Plus, also, if you're playing Marines, you don't want to see it because holy shit, their big bugs have the exact profile to kill Marine bodies. You know, I am surprised that no big shit all trucks is currently winning right now. Man, dude, do you have the world's loudest keyboard? What are you typing on?
Yeah. And my mic is my mic is 2 feet away from it.
Clank, 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 clank. Oh my god. All of the things. I think Dark Ages is going to keep being totally fine. I think that they got nerfed harder than they should have, but I still think the army's fine, to be perfectly honest with you. And here's my boys. We're going to go all the way down. Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights. They just need a little bit of love.
I think that's right where they need to be, actually. 45 sounds good.
Regular Marines, they have to goddamn detach Marines from having one base book and give all of the books their own points and their own deal. I know I've said this before. It's just, you're always going to see Marines riding this weird roller coaster until you do it. So it's just a thing on that. He's not letting come for WC7. He even said nope. Using the rock band drum set. It sounded like it.
Corey's on it tonight. Holy shit.
Why are Grey Knights not doing better than they are?
Yeah, why aren't they? That army is bonkers. It's so good.
I agree.
That should be 52 easy.
I agree on that, man. I'm just not enough people are playing it, I guess, and barely any. You know what I mean? So, Orcs sitting at 45. I think they got play, obviously. 3x6 suppressors and 3x10 desolators take on guard. Only with Bobby G with old school. Desolators with old school oath, where you get to reroll everything. Hits and wounds, and doing it twice with Bobby G. Then yes. Because then you could overwatch every turn and delete a unit also. Leave a GK for using your armies, that could be a real thing. So, yeah. People stat check the GK with. I just feel like you have like a lot of play still. I'll Be Dami is just still really good. People, I don't know that either. I don't know why Drakari are just winning crazily. I still think that they're bananas. Thousand Suns, I think you're going to see win rates are going to be wildly up and down because it just depends on whether top Thousand Suns guys are playing or not. It's still just, it's always been a very difficult army to play at the top level. And I think now that they've got those point whacks, it's harder to play. So,
yeah, I mean, do you think most of the top players who were on Thousand Suns have left some to get something better?
Possibly, but we saw it doing really well last week. You know what I mean? So it's had like a really really roller coaster of who's playing it, basically. You know what I mean? Because we haven't seen like a billion games played with it, but like it still has crazy damage, man. You know what I mean? It's just, oof. Yeah, Space Wolves. Whew, yeah, they got treated like a squirrel. The New York squirrel.
Why are Tau so far down here?
I don't know. They have a ton of play. That one I don't understand. I feel like Tau just have the ability to play the game. The problem might be that Tau's codex is very, very fair. You know what I mean? It's not OP in any way, but I feel it just has a lot of ability to play. There's a couple armies. I mean, between Drakari, Thousand Sun, and Tau, I think that those are three really good armies that should be higher up, in my opinion. Peanut, exactly. Peanut the squirrel.
And then, rounding out the bottom, Imperial Agents, not a real army.
It's not.
It's a joke army. It came out on April 1st.
Also, I don't know why they did the shit that they did to Space Wolves. I'm sorry, but that wasn't a real. We kept saying that wasn't a real win rate. Makes me sad.
So,
kind of. Go ahead.
I was saying, if you, for the rest of the time in the meta before we move to the update in December, what should people be looking for? What should people be leaning towards to play?
I have a prediction because I think Matt O might actually hit it on the head. He goes, Matt O, $5 super chat. Can Imperial Agents please get an army rule for Christmas? Take a Russ or Predator or something. I think that the detachment for Imperial Agents is going to get some juice, to be honest with you. Rick Andre's sick, top players are afraid to get close. That is the true story. So for the winner, I can't imagine that they're not going to make. I always think that they're going to push Marines when we get into Christmas time. You know what I mean? When people pull out gifts and shit like that. So I'd be surprised if you didn't get something with Marines to make them just shoot up there just so they can have big winter sales for them. Again, they're, you know what I mean, they're a model company.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
I think
30%.
if you can source the models and you like the playstyle, the 18 Deathstride list was very fun. It's probably the most fun I've had in 10th edition, and I only got to play 2 games of the tournament.
Why does just drop like really annoying mortals on you too, by the way? Like that dude just like pointing at something and just doing mortals is crazy.
All
Like,
of their flamers having pistol is crazy.
Well, also the anti-infantry helps quite a bit too.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, it was a fun list. You could just kind of be chunky in some places and start hunting with the Plague Marines. And it felt very cohesive.
Let's see what we got. I'm gonna end the poll. No big shit, all trucks. Squeaked ahead of skill rigs, and battle wagons got just left behind.
People want you to win.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You know what I should probably talk about?
Sense. 40k lore cats.
That's about to drop. 40k lore cats. And again, I've got merch now. This makes me happy. I'm like a real channel almost. I've got merch. We've completely changed this card. I like to say we. Like basically we have got a couple pretty awesome dudes and dudettes that help now with our Discord, and it's fantastic. And like it's a real thing. And it makes me super happy.
How many downloads are you at? 14 million?
Nope, we're at over 3 mil. We're doing like 20,000 a day now. It's pretty nice. It kind of settled in. I'm no longer at the top of the charts, which was fantastic for a while, but it wasn't going to last. I wrote a lot of, I really rode on the Space Marine 2 coattails for a little bit there and found my mojo, but we kind of stuck and we're going. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're looking to do minimum two live events next year. We'll be at Adepticon, so I'm pretty pumped about that, to do some more stuff. I don't know. I love lore a lot. So it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, see? Eloise is a dudette. Dudes and dudettes. No, but they really fixed. It was funny because like I gave John shit about it. I go, I don't want to like say anything, but the way they have the Discord set up is about 1 billion times better than we originally set it up. So yeah.
That's good. It's good that Lore Cats has taken off.
Makes me happy. You know, all you gotta do is go, I played 40k for 1 million years, and then I did lore for not very many, and it's so much more popular. Pew pew! Where are you gonna be next?
Where am I gonna be next? I don't know. Holidays are gonna be rough for taking time off, but probably somewhere Lyle tells me I'm going. Same as you. No, you're going to Atlanta. I'm not going to Atlanta.
I mean, I read all the books, so all of the things some of the time. Well, you can't even Queenswave with me. That makes me sad.
Before you leave, can we pour one out for sexual Nintendos? We had a bad first appearance.
Well, 33% of your members almost died.
Was not a great weekend.
It was rough. So I'm pouring one out for the Kalile, and we will be on here. We're trying to make Kyle a regular person on the cast on Mondays, but he
haven't finished the ritual. I'm only partly in real space.
Yeah, I was just saying, I tried to summon him. See, Adepticon being in Milwaukee, I don't know how I feel about it, but I think I'm pretty pumped because I used to love Gen Con being in Milwaukee. It was boss mode. So on that note, wave into your non-camera, and everybody thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
See ya.